The Nintendo Switch is a great little system, with many great first-party titles and, surprisingly, many fighting games. In fact, the Nintendo Switch fighting games library is only second to the great PlayStation 4 massive fighting games library, which is quite amazing. And add to that, we have all these Aka Neo Geo titles that you can play. Pretty much most of the fighting games from the Neo Geo are available on the Nintendo eShop that you can buy. And we're getting more fighting games in the future, including the upcoming Samurai Showdown. And rumor has it, even the upcoming next year's The King of Fighters 15 will be on the Switch. So we have to find the best way to play fighting games on the Nintendo Switch in portable mode. Well, you can use an external controller or a joystick in docking mode. What would be the best way to play fighting games in portable mode? See, the Nintendo Switch does not have your standard D-pad. Instead, it has 4 buttons that works as a standard D-pad, but they're quite uncomfortable. And any fighting game enthusiast or anybody who plays fighting games will tell you the same thing. The fact that the Nintendo Switch does not have a D-pad sucks. While I can usually do some of the special moves, it's still when you're in the heat of the moment and you try to do a super or do a shoryuken, a wake up dragon punch or what have you, sometimes it doesn't work, or most of the time it doesn't work. And it's quite uncomfortable to do circular moves while using those 4 buttons instead of a D-pad. And I kind of understand why they did that. It's because the whole point is for you to be able to detach that joycon and use it as a controller by itself. But for us fighting games, that's not gonna cut it, and we have to find something else. You can use the joystick, which works okay, but it's not micro switch, so it's quite loose, and again, in the heat of the moment when you're playing, you get to miss a lot of inputs, or you end up jumping while you're just trying to do a quarter circle forward. And that's why we have a solution, and that's the Hori D-pad. Released by Hori, the company known for creating and making mini joysticks and arcade sticks, this little thing here that I have in my hands is quite useful. But let's go ahead and look and see if it's a good alternative or not. Putting a Joy-Con with the D-pad, with the Hori D-pad side by side, they look quite similar, but they're still different. You can feel it different. First of all, the Hori D-pad is lighter. And there's a major difference we'll look at later on. So let's go ahead and plug it in and give this a shot. First of all, if you're using the other Joy-Con and detach it and use this one, most of the time it won't work because your Nintendo Switch is still synced with the wireless Joy-Con. So you'll have to first disable it before you are able to use the D-pad Joy-Con. The D-pad itself feels smooth. You can easily do all the moves and it doesn't hurt your thumb and it doesn't feel stiff or anything. Now, the only major problem, or not a major problem, but the major thing that this Joy-Con does not have is it does not have rumble and it's not wireless. So you cannot detach it and use it as a standalone controller. Also, rumble might be an issue for those who like to feel the force feedback from their machine. So for example, Ultra Street Fighter does have the rumble feature. Dragon Ball FighterZ also has rumble features, but you're playing games like the Neo Geo games or what I'm playing right now, the King of Fighters 2000, it works. You can do all your special moves, your supers, it just works beautifully. Playing games like Street Fighter, I had no issue pulling all the moves, whether they're dragon punches, hadokens, or even supers. It just feels smooth and the moves come out easily. Playing a game like Samurai Showdown 2 was never easy with a normal Joy-Con, but with the Hori D-pad it just feels natural. Now this is a great alternative, especially that many fighting games are coming to the Switch down the line, including the highly anticipated Samurai Showdown 2019. So another option, if you're not happy with the D-pad, or if you want a cheaper alternative, is the bass top replacement shell for the Joy-Cons. Now, this one is a little bit tricky because you need to open your Joy-Con and switch parts, and it's not an easy process. I have purchased this one Myself, I have not used it yet for two reasons. First of all, you can easily break your Joy-Con, and it's the only ones I have for now. The second thing is just the plastic feels kind of lower quality than the Joy-Cons or the Hori D-pad. The actual D-pad itself that we have here is actually it feels quite nice. It's not as soft as the Hori one. However, it looks like it will do the job. They're only available in either the white or atomic purple, I believe. So I went with the white one, but I have yet to use it. A little problem that I found with the Hori D-pad, besides the missing features, is that the release button is sticking out, and it looks quite different from the normal Joy-Con, which creates a problem if you're using one of the Nintendo Switch protective cases or protective shells, because nothing fits. Like, I'm trying this one, for example, and as you can see, because of the shape of the button that they have, you can't use it. So you have to not use any protective shell, or in my case, just use one for the main unit and not the actual Joy-Cons. So there you have it. These are your current options for playing fighting games on the Nintendo Switch in portable mode. So you have the actual Joy-Con with those awful buttons as a D-pad, or the Bastock replacement shell, which is quite difficult to actually put on, or the Hori D-pad replacement Joy-Con, which I believe is quite nice. It costs about $30. The one I have here is the Japanese version, which is in blue. If you're buying it from Europe or the US, they come in two versions, one that is Mario themed and the other one is Zelda themed. I have no idea why they did that, since Mario and Zelda are not fighting games, unless you're talking about the Smash Bros. But anyway, I think it's a very good option for now. The fact that it does not have the rumble features and the fact that it's not wireless, for me it's more the rumble feature that is kind of like a missed opportunity, especially at the price. They're about between $30 and $40 depending on where you get them from. I got mine from a Japanese website. I can't remember the name right now. But yeah, this is a good option. This allows me to play Neo Geo games on the go, and I'm quite happy with it. I don't have any problems, doing all the, supers and specials and cancels using that D-pad, which is quite nice and quite soft. So there you have it. This was a quick review or overview for the Hori D-pad for the Nintendo Switch. I think it's a very good replacement. Until we find something better, this is your best bet and easier way to comfortably play fighting games on the Nintendo Switch in portable mode. So this was your host, Neo Shiro. Please like and subscribe and help us grow bigger. And thanks for watching.